Hello everyone and welcome to Mixed Media Frenzy. So today I took one look at this design and decided that I love it, but I also recognized that I might be able to use some of my digital supplies for this. So I've actually done my background and the photo digitally, and I'm going to add some other embellishments now, including some mixed media. So I have digital mixed media and I'll have real mixed media on this one. So what I like are the splotches kind of under the photo and then off to the side. I always love a good L-shaped design. Because my digital supplies were oriented the way they were, I kind of switched it around. So I have the vertical line coming this way and the horizontal line going that way and the photo here. And all of this, I'll show you what's actually printed on the paper before I've done any mixed media. There's an embellishment there. This element right here that includes all of this, that's one element. This that's behind the photo is another. This is one that I repeated many times. This is another, and this is another, and they're all from different collections. So I'm sorry I can't tell you what they are right now. But what I really liked was, I think this is probably washi tape here, but I'm actually going to use some pattern paper. I have I have a piece of this, and I'm not sure where this is from. It's a 6x6 paper stack, maybe from Seven Gypsies, maybe from somebody else. In any case, it's properly antique-y looking, and you can't read the scripty words there. So I cut this piece to go under the photo, and since the photo is printed on the page, I'm going to have to do a little cutting to slide it up under. And I will tear another piece to go kind of over here, and I'm not going to tear anything. I may be doing some mixed media over it, but I'm just going to tear a tiny sliver there. And I'm tearing it so that the words are at least going to be right side up. Okay, so there, I'll put that away. And I'm going to maybe kind of put this right here along with some wood embellishments. My embellishments tray is not very big. I've got this butterfly because the colors just really work well, and there's a butterfly in the original. I'm going to do my title across here or maybe across here. It's going to alternate black and white, and I'm going to pull my title from letters in here. And like I did with my layout yesterday, I'm going to do that off camera at the end afterwards, but I'll show you where it's going to be and you'll see it. So I'm going to do, after I cut this, I'm going to put this wood thing that says Eat, Play, Love. The title's going to be Don't Mess with Reese. And it's kind of based on the load prompt to have words of wisdom. I'm going to have a little, I don't know if it's going to be this ticket or another, maybe I'm going to maybe find a tab to go across here, or I may cut and put this here, and I'm going to handwrite words of wisdom. And so that's kind of a nod to the song, Let It Be. So I'm going to maybe do this right here at the end of that paper thingy, and then maybe to make that a trio of embellishments, I may end up doing this. But first, well, actually, not first, I'm going to cut where I want this paper to go, and then I'm going to do the mixed media. I've got this, in the original there are arrows going both directions, and you can kind of see this is raised, looks like texture paste, and there's some more texture paste, and then it looks like there's some stamping. I'm going to leave off the stamping because I've got a lot of stampy looking stuff on what's on the digital part, so I'm going to save that time and aggravation. Not that it's aggravation, but I am in a hurry. I'm actually going to leave the house today, which is a different thing. I've been trying to get something mailed, and we have a little parcel shop in our neighborhood, and the last couple times we've gone to try to mail this same thing, he's been closed. So I'm just gonna do that, and we'll see how this works. And I'm maybe going to do some, let's see if I can, the reason I did that vertical part was so I could slide this up under there, and I didn't get it all the way there. Okay. That's okay, I think. I may tear it a little bit shorter. I don't necessarily want it out that far, but let me put a little bit of adhesive on it. I'm gonna put the adhesive kind of down lower because the top part is gonna go all the way through the paper. Okay, that works. And let me get the mixed media out now. What I'm going to do, I've got this stencil with arrows, and I'm going to put it so that the right part of these down arrows, I taped it off, and just a word to the wise, I put the tape on the underside, on the wrong side, if you will, and it's sticky up here because I didn't want it to stick to the layout. So I'm going to do this halfway. I have both white and clear gesso, and I thought I'd use the white here and the clear here, and then I'm going to do something similar down here. So let me take the clear, and I'm going to apply it. What I'm hoping for is just to create a little bit of a different texture, not not a lot of color being laid down. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this on here. I normally don't use this for this purpose, but I can certainly clean it up afterwards. So I'm gonna bring the white down. I did the clear first because I kind of want the white to be somewhat muted, I guess, if you will. Okay, now let's see how that looks. Good, that looks very grungy and kind of halfway done, and you'll have to look at the texture, you'll kind of have to look at it in a certain light to be able to see the right hand part of that. So that's exactly what I wanted. Here, I'm gonna go part way down there. I'll do the white first here. It's going to kind of cover up that stuff, and then I'll do the clear here. We'll see how that works out. Okay, again, perfect. You can just barely see it. You get that hint, and it certainly reinforces those perpendicular lines. So very happy with that. And I'm going to wipe off my stencil. It's not easy to do. I don't have a craft mat down and really don't want to get the gesso, on my relatively clean mat there. Okay, put that off to the side, and now I'm going to wipe this guy. These little foam applicators are part of a gift I got from a lovely lady named Carolyn Sitton, who was my secret sister at a retreat sponsored by Heather's Crafty Life last year. And I use them so much because they're perfect. They're like little really good makeup sponges that don't separate out and get with little bits of the sponge coming out. Okay, so having done that, I'm now going to get busy with embellishments. There are, in the original, there are 3 buttons over here, but I have a lot going on there, so I think I'm going to leave the buttons off, but I'm going to kind of add some playful doggy type embellishments. There's my glue. Let me do this. This says Eat, Play, Love, and that's pretty much the name of the game with Reese. This is an older photo of her, and it's from when we first brought her home, and I had never seen it, or hadn't seen it in a while. I may actually have seen it and scrapped it in a group of photos at some point. Let's see. I'm gonna put this guy. Actually, I think I may tear the bottom of this as well, so that it really just sort of blends in there. Right there. And I'm going to do this right here to kind of hide the edge of that. And then I've got my butterfly, which is going to go up on a foam dot. Like I said, it kind of reinforces that color scheme, so that works there. And when the mixed media dries, I'm going to do my title kind of right at the lower end of these arrows and the upper end of the ones that I just gessoed on. But I've got one more tiny embellishment, I think. Yes, this little geotag, and I'm maybe going to use it right here, just because it's vellum. I'm trying to do something to soften the hard corner there. Not sure this is going to do the trick, but I've got this little ticket that I thought, it's going to say, "Don't mess with Reese," and I want to say words of wisdom, and maybe I could put it right up in there. So more cutting is going to be required, and I don't want to get my ruler in the wet gesso. So I'm going to do this by hand and we'll see how successful that is. I'll do it without a straight edge. Actually, there's no gesso there, so let me do it with a straight edge. I find I can press harder if I do that. Okay. Now I want to write my sentiment on there. I could have used texture paste, and I think it might have looked nice, but I like the fact that the gesso is a little bit thinner. I'm leaving actually more texture and more, I'm giving it more of a different look in the light. And I don't know if you can see how this, I can see this side of the arrow in the light really well, and the same thing here. So I like the effect that it gives, but let me get this words of wisdom. Okay, and to hold it, I'm gonna do this, and I'll put a little bit of adhesive up at the top. I should, if I had this to do over, I'd have printed the background and then printed the photo separately and maybe layered some pattern papers behind it, but I didn't do that. I kind of wanted to see where it was going to be placed. Okay, that's not cut all the way through. Okay, let's see how this works. And this has a little bit of pink to kind of, there's some pink in some of this, and to be honest, my stencil must have had a little bit of pink on it. Well, that's, again, not long enough. I should maybe have measured that better. Okay, that's gonna look messy right there, but it's all grunge, right? It's all supposed to be grungy. Now, what this tells me is that where I kind of messed this up, I need another little wood embellishment. I'm glad I left these out. Do I have any doggy related? I used to have some cute little dog bones, but I don't, so I'm gonna go with a little heart. Yeah, that's good. Okay, the heart will work, and it'll somewhat cover that red striped thing, which is a little bit out of character with the rest of the page. Okay, there. So I've got kind of a trio of wood elements going on there. Now, I thought I would kind of take a look at it at some point and maybe add some other elements that kind of reinforce this line. So I'm kind of going to use this as a little bit of a guide. I'm going to do some plus signs, just doodling them on, kind of going over that scrap of paper and the arrows and not caring how perfectly I get the pluses or how evenly spaced they are, so that it actually kind of looks a little bit like cross stitches. Let me do something similar here. I've got this line of kind of chain like, so that's my strong vertical line there. So let me do a dotted line here and I'll go back when I've done and I'll add some little stitchy stitchiness there. And I'm going to have it go all the way up a little bit higher than the chain does. So there's a little stuff there and there and there and here. Let's see, make sure I'm doing that on camera. I apologize to you all just in advance or after the fact for not always being aware of where the camera is or where the layout is with respect to the camera. I also want to do some little triangle-y things because there are some of those on there and I'm doodling them imperfectly, but there are a few there and I want to do some here from this paper on over. There. And is there anything else? I think this is really beginning to look nice, and it's clear that it's kind of overlaying the stitching. I absolutely love this. Now, if I were going to do this myself, I actually have those. It looks like a blend of about 3 or 4 colors of distress oxides, and I've got a stencil that could do these dots around there, and this just looks like streaks of paint there. So now I'm going to do some black splatters, and I'm going to cover the photo and just kind of splatter it up big, even trying to get it on the embellishments to really give it that grungy look that this one has. Now they've also got some of that raspberry color in their splatters, so I may look for a turquoise. Okay, this is also the shimmer, and I'll just do this maybe a little more lightly. Oh, what the heck. It's pretty, so why wouldn't I want it on there? And I may put some of this down here. That's a little heavy, but it kind of looks like it goes with the rest. And it's going to have a shimmer to it, so I think I'm going to like it. So this is it done. I'm going to do the title across here after everything dries, and you'll see it posted tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week for another Mixed Media Frenzy. Now, let me see if I can find my trusty little remote and see if it works. Bye.